All right, let's get right into it. We are about to tear down one of the most sacred ideas in modern culture, work-life balance. We're gonna look at the playbook used by the absolute top 1%, the people who see this whole concept not as a healthy goal, but as a trap designed to keep you, well, average.
Wow, I mean, that's a real gut punch, isn't it? But here's the thing. This is the core belief of people at the absolute pinnacle of their fields. They argue that the advice given to the 99% is basically engineered to keep them as obedient, average workers. So you have to ask, what if they're actually right? And that's the big question we're really digging into here. Is this relentless chase for balance, something that HR departments and wellness gurus preach constantly, is it actually the very thing holding you back from achieving those world-class, totally asymmetrical results? Okay, first up, let's break down this core argument against balance. See, the philosophy of the elite, it isn't just about working harder. No, it's a completely different operating system, and it's based on the cold, hard logic of physics, math, and biology. So let's start with a really powerful analogy from physics. The 1%, they look at a balanced life like a system in perfect equilibrium. And in physics, what does that mean? It means no energy, no growth, no action. You know, a flat line on a heart monitor? That's perfect equilibrium. It literally means death. They believe greatness is born from tension, from asymmetry, not from some perfectly even scale. And this is where the math of it all just doesn't add up. As entrepreneurs like Alex Hormozi argue, you simply cannot get extraordinary, unbalanced outcomes with ordinary, balanced inputs. It's impossible. Think about it. If you split your energy 20% across 5 different things, you're going to get systematically taken apart by the person who funnels 100% of their energy into just one of those things. The market doesn't care how balanced you are, it only rewards execution. And real execution demands an insane, disproportionate amount of focus. This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows that massive philosophical divide. For most people, work is a transaction, just one slice of the pie. For the elite, it's a mission that consumes the entire pie. And the key difference is right there in the cognitive framing. It's not a job, it's a calling. So this isn't about managing your time, it's about managing your entire identity. They are totally comfortable being seen as unbalanced because to them, balance is mediocrity. So if balance is the enemy, then what's the alternative? Well, it's not just chaos, it's a highly structured system. And there is no better example of this than one of the most legendary frameworks for elite performance ever created, the Mamba mentality. You see, Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality, it was never just a catchy marketing slogan. It was a repeatable process, an actual algorithm for achieving greatness. It was about deliberately rewiring his own brain, his own dopamine system, to only find pleasure in the brutal, repetitive, grinding work of mastering his craft. It's about taking that chaotic impulse of obsession and turning it into a disciplined weapon. Just look at this breakdown. This is a blueprint for obsession, relentless preparation. That means doing the work that no one sees, when everyone else is resting. Continuous learning. That means being humble enough to know you don't have all the answers, but audacious enough to go find them from anyone. And radical accountability? That means you own everything. You reject all excuses and take complete ownership of the outcome. This is obsession, fully weaponized. And this quote from Conor McGregor, it just cuts right to the bone. The elite performer doesn't believe what separates them is some kind of magic, innate gift. No, it's a deliberate choice to become so completely consumed by their craft that it becomes their entire reality. You know, when McGregor says that, he's not just being poetic. He's describing a real neurobiological state. His brain literally starts filtering out anything that doesn't serve his one single goal. To really get that, we need to look at the science behind 2 very, very different types of passion. So first, you've got harmonious passion. This is the healthy, well-adjusted version that we're all told to chase after. It's when you love what you do, but it fits nicely with the other parts of your life. You are in control of the passion, it doesn't control you. And yeah, this is linked to overall well-being and life satisfaction. But then there's obsessive passion. And this is a totally different animal. This is a compulsive, all-consuming drive where the passion controls you. It creates conflict with everything else in your life because it demands to be number one. And while it can definitely lead to burnout, research shows it is also deeply, intrinsically linked to elite-level performance. So the real question is, what's the psychological engine driving it? This psychological model gives us a really fascinating clue. It turns out research suggests obsessive passion can be a compensatory mechanism. So when our basic human needs for things like autonomy, competence, and feeling connected, when those needs aren't being met in our general lives, like at a dead-end job, we might latch onto a single activity where we do feel competent and in control. The obsession becomes a really powerful way to fill a void.
Okay, so understanding the mechanics is one thing, but we have to be brutally honest about the cost. This path is not free. Reaching the absolute top of any field requires a level of sacrifice that most people are, frankly, unwilling to pay, and maybe for good reason.
I mean, just look at this list. This is the bill that eventually comes due. We're talking about social isolation, chronic health problems from ignoring sleep and recovery, and this really dangerous fusion of your identity with your results. When your entire self-worth is tangled up in your success, failure isn't just a setback, it's an existential crisis. This is the dark side of greatness. And Kobe himself said it plain as day. This price isn't something you pay alone. Your obsession demands that your family, your friends, your entire support system, they all have to make sacrifices right alongside you. The hunt for greatness might feel like a solo mission, but it's really a team sport in the toughest way possible.
So what is it then? Is it a simple choice between a happy, balanced, but maybe average life and a life of obsessive, high-stakes achievement? Well, not exactly. The most sophisticated performers don't choose one or the other. They synthesize these ideas into a much more dynamic model.
First things first, we have to throw out this simplistic idea of a 50-50 split. High achievers see that as a total trap. It's a myth that just leads to guilt when inevitably you can't maintain it. Life isn't some static scale that you have to keep perfectly level. So the new goal is total 100% engagement, but directed intelligently. Instead of trying to do a little bit of everything all the time, you dedicate a season, maybe it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, to absolute obsession on one single goal. You go all in to build the thing, to secure the resources.
And this brings us to this powerful concept, strategic imbalance. Think of it like how an elite athlete trains. They don't run a marathon every single day. That would be insane. No, they have intense sprints. Those are your seasons of all-out obsessive work. And then they follow that with intentional periods of recovery to repair, refuel, and reconnect. It's a rhythm, an oscillation, not a linear, soul-crushing grind.
So what's the new framework look like? Well, it's about seeking alignment, not balance. It all starts with defining your current season, getting crystal clear on your single most important objective right now. From there, you stop managing your time and start managing your energy. You schedule recovery just as seriously as you schedule the work itself. And what that creates is alignment, a state where all your energy is flowing toward your mission, instead of being scattered everywhere trying to live a perfectly symmetrical life.
And that leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. This isn't about judging whether balance is good or obsession is bad. It's about being strategic. So when you look at your own life, your own ambitions, you have to ask, what season are you in right now? And what does that season truly, honestly demand from you?